How dare you talk to me like that? Do you know who I am? The voice cracked like a whip through the dining room of a high-end steakhouse in downtown Chicago. Forks froze mid-air, conversations stopped cold, and every pair of eyes landed on a blonde woman standing over a corner table. She was dressed like she owned the place, diamond bracelets flashing under the soft light, her manicured finger stabbing the air at the young black woman sitting quietly in a red dress. The blonde's name was Amanda Pierce. She wasn't a stranger to drama, she thrived on it. And the woman she was screaming at, that was Naomi Carter, a 30-year-old software genius who rarely set foot in restaurants like this unless dragged by her husband. Amanda's voice dripped with entitlement. I don't tolerate insults from some cheap nobody. Then her hand flew fast, vicious, cruel. The crack of her palm against Naomi's cheek echoed louder than the jazz music in the background. A couple diners gasped. Others raised their phones. And Naomi, she didn't move. She just looked at her with eyes calm as still water before a storm. Amanda thought she had put Naomi in her place. What she didn't know was that Slap had just pulled the pin on a grenade that would blow her entire life apart. Naomi had known about Amanda for months. The late nights, the credit card charges that made no sense, the way her husband Tyler, yes, Tyler Carter, co-founder of Carter Technologies, had started hiding his phone like it held state secrets. Naomi wasn't naive. She had built security software that banks used worldwide. If she could catch hackers stealing millions through invisible back doors, she sure as hell could catch her husband cheating. But Naomi wasn't just going to confront him, cry, and beg for answers. That wasn't her style. She grew up in the South Side, daughter of a bus driver and a school secretary, and she learned early that the smartest way to survive was to observe, document, wait. So when she saw hotel receipts, she smiled and filed them away. When her assistant Mia whispered that company funds were moving into strange accounts, Naomi nodded and told her to keep digging. And when she hired a private investigator and saw the photos of Tyler wrapped around Amanda at some fancy hotel, she didn't break down. She got to work. Amanda was 26, a marketing coordinator at some real estate firm, the kind of girl who posted champagne selfies with hashtags like #Billionaire'S. Tyler had been bankrolling her lifestyle clothes, rent jewelry, using money Naomi herself had generated. She was the brain behind the empire. He was just the face smiling for investors. But he had started to believe his own press, to think the genius was him. Naomi decided to let them dig their own graves. That's how we got to that night at the steakhouse. Amanda had been bragging to her co-workers that she had dinner reservations, that she might bump into important people. What she didn't expect was to bump into the wife. Naomi showed up early, laptop open, a glass of wine at her side. No glam, no entourage. Just calm, composed, and perfectly baiting. Amanda saw her and couldn't resist. She strutted over, fake smile pasted on. Excuse me, I think there's been a mix-up. This restaurant has a certain standard. Maybe you'd be more comfortable at McDonald's. Her words carried loud enough for half the dining room to hear. Naomi looked up with polite confusion. Oh, I'm actually quite comfortable here, thank you. That little kindness, that refusal to shrink, infuriated Amanda. Her smile cracked. The voice rose. Don't act like you belong here. Do you even know who my boyfriend is? Tyler Carter. He owns half of Silicon Valley. A few people at nearby tables started whispering. They knew that name. Tech reporters even started typing notes on their phones. Naomi tilted her head, a small smile tugging her lips. Yes, I know him very well. And then she pulled out her phone. I'll just give him a call. Amanda's face drained of color. You're bluffing, she hissed. He'd never look twice at someone like you. Naomi hit dial, put it on speaker. Tyler picked up on the second ring. Naomi. Why are you calling? How do you know Amanda? The whole restaurant froze. You could hear a pin drop. Amanda's mouth open-closed, no sound. Oh, Naomi said sweetly. I think I'm starting to understand. Amanda here has been quite entertaining. She thinks I don't belong in places like this. She even slapped me. She did what Tyler's voice exploded from the speaker. Amanda lunged for the phone, but Naomi slipped it away smoothly. Explain, Naomi said, her tone still soft, but sharp as glass. Explain why your girlfriend just assaulted your wife, in front of 50 witnesses and a dozen cameras. The word wife detonated in the room. Forks clattered. Phones lifted higher. Amanda stumbled back, bumping a chair. Whoa, wife, you're married. Naomi stood. Taller than Amanda expected, graceful in that red dress that suddenly looked like armor. She extended her hand with queenly composure. Naomi Carter. Pleasure to finally meet my husband's friend. Amanda's knees wobbled. The manager backed away, realizing he was witnessing a scandal about to hit headlines. Reporters already had enough for breaking news. And Naomi. She just picked up her purse, checked her watch. Well, this has been educational, Amanda. I'm sure we'll be seeing more of each other soon. And she walked out, every head in the restaurant turning, every phone following her exit. What Amanda and Tyler didn't realize was that by the time Naomi reached her car, the rest of the plan was already in motion. Mia, her assistant, was in the office pulling the trigger on every financial safeguard Naomi had prepared. Company funds Tyler had been siphoning frozen. 40+ million transferred into secure accounts only Naomi controlled. Every shred of evidence, embezzlement, forged signatures, fraudulent deals was already in the inboxes of the board of directors and the FBI's Financial Crimes Unit. Meanwhile, that slap video was spreading like wildfire. By midnight, Steakhouse Slap was trending across social media. The clip was brutal, a smug blonde slapping a calm black woman who turned out to be the wife of a billionaire. The racial undertone, the arrogance, the sheer entitlement, it lit up the internet. Public opinion sided instantly with Naomi. Amanda's face was now a meme. Tyler stumbled home after his poker game to find Naomi waiting in sweatpants, looking serene while his phone melted with missed calls. "What the hell is happening?" he demanded. "My accounts are frozen. The board's calling emergency meetings. And Amanda's all over the news." Naomi didn't even raise her voice. "Sit down. We need to talk." He paced, sputtering. "You can't just freeze assets." "I can." Naomi cut him off. "I am the majority shareholder. 68% of the company stock. You seem to have forgotten that. And I have proof of your fraud, your theft, your lies. The FBI has copies. The investors do too. Amanda's little performance tonight was the perfect cover for everything I had planned." Tyler's swagger crumbled. He slumped head in hands. "What do you want?" Naomi looked him dead in the eye. "A divorce. Your resignation. And accountability for everything you've done. Starting tomorrow, your world collapses." She walked upstairs, leaving him drowning in panic. Within days, Amanda was fired, evicted, arrested on charges of assault and embezzlement from her own company. She sat in county jail while her billionaire boo ignored her calls. Tyler faced federal charges, fraud, money laundering, embezzlement. The board of Carter Technologies voted him out unanimously. Venture capital firms cut ties. His reputation in Silicon Valley was torched overnight. Naomi, on the other hand, walked into the boardroom and was met with applause. For the first time, she was recognized not as someone's wife, but as the CEO, the visionary, the genius who had built the empire. She used the recovered millions, not just for herself, but to launch a foundation helping women betrayed by business partners or spouses. The irony, was perfect money Tyler stole now, fueling empowerment. 6 months later, she stood on stage at a Women in Tech conference telling her story. Not about revenge, but about rebuilding. When someone tries to tear down what you've built, you have two choices, she told the crowd. Let them destroy you, or rebuild something stronger. The applause lasted minutes. And Amanda. She sat in a prison cell, replaying that night in her head, wondering how a single slap could unravel her entire world. Tyler scrubbed offices for minimum wage after prison, invisible in the city where he once strutted. Both of them footnotes in a story they thought they controlled. Naomi had proven something powerful, that behind every man who thinks he's untouchable, there might be a woman quietly documenting every lie, waiting for the moment to turn the tables. So let me ask you this: when you see someone flaunting money that isn't theirs, or mocking someone they think is beneath them, do you stay silent? Or do you believe, like Naomi, that eventually the truth will surface and justice will come crashing down? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Was she right to orchestrate everything, or was it too cold, too calculated? Have you ever seen arrogance like Amanda's get exactly what it deserved? Let's talk about it.